ever seen. Poor kids without the necessary means for college. Their tuition is paid for by my boss. Excuse me, Brant admonished, growing tense, because the dude had touched in ornaments. With all these kids, do you think there's any place for one more smiling, grant-receiving face? One more? Oh, ha ha ha, I see, said Brant. You've never cried an alma mater chant? Or earned a credit in a college course? Your education's high school level or worse. Then Brant reached out his arm and primly shooed the dude, who poked again a bronzed shoe. Oh yeah, I went, the dude explained with pride. 'Twas there all those old halls I occupied. We'd sit in paths where bursars tried to pass, and offer them a flower or some hash. Once more the duder poked the mounted stash. Smoked high stick, broke into the ROTC, and bowled a lot whenever I was free, so says my porous memory. By then he'd turned a corner in that place, and stopped before a painted looking-glass, made up to look like Time, the magazine. Are you a Lebowski achiever? In it silk-screened. The caption so adroitly framed dude's face. He shambled, slowed, and stopped his glacial pace. He stared, transfixed at himself, the man of the year. When all at once there screamed a grind of gears, a whir of servos, clattering wooden doors, and wheelchair wheels squeaked over creaking floors. The dude and Brant both turned to face the noise, and saw the man in motion, yet regally poised. Fat old Lebowski, as he rolled his person in, had hardly paused a moment to begin. All right, I'm here. Your host has now arrived. I know how long of me you've been deprived. That's not my style. I'm just a busy man, as I imagine you as well take pains. So let us start and end this talk with haste. You're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. Great! So how may I help you, the codger asked, as he found his way behind an oaken desk. This man filled the room, larger than life he seemed, his scowl of falls o'er which his grumbles teemed. Dismissed, Brant left as a shadow would at midday, and closed the doors behind him on his way. A chair before Lebowski's desk was set, and it was there the dude's intent was met. Not all nonplussed, but calm, he crossed the room. Dude casually spake, as toward that chair he loomed. Well, sir, the rug's the issue as it stands. It really tied the room together, man. At that, dude sat and crossed his legs at ease. His flannel shorts betrayed his bowler's knees. Before you came, you told Brant on the phone, and he told me, so all of this is known. These things you say, I have been made aware. You may go on, but wherefore should I care? All this Lebowski barked. The dude took pause, and wondered at this ire and its cause. With patience then, and logic he forged ahead, and on one knee let rest the other leg. Well, these two guys were looking for your home, but to my place they'd accidentally roam. And that, he guessed, was that. What need be said beyond the facts so plain in Duder's head? Lebowski shifted then, and took great pain to make his words sound sharp, his language plain. I'll say once more, I know what befell thee. You told Brant on the phone, and he told me. I know your tale, I'll not hear it again. Get on with it, I say, my patience wanes. But now the dude could read between the lines. The tone and body language were his signs. This money bag had no intent to pay, so it was up to dude, his will to sway. Oh, so you know the things that I have seen, and on whose rug those fuckers should have peed. Lebowski, though, was proving pretty keen. Did I pee on your rug? He asked point blank, and for a moment dude just sat to think. When you ask that, should I take it to mean if you yourself my rug made a latrine? Right then he pictured how such an act would look. This guy rolling into place in dude's front nook, and clambering down in phases from his chair to pee up as a fountain in the air. Hello, Jeff yelped. Do you speak English well? Vous parlez-vous anglais, mademoiselle? I'll say again, though it pains me to repeat. Did I abuse your rug like a toilet seat? How can one answer such a blatant ploy? What logic could the dude hope to employ? No, as I said before, it wasn't you. The peer was this other guy named Wu. Lebowski splayed his hand to halt the dude, and pointed then to make himself more rude. I want to understand, to get this straight. Now every time on rugs, thugs micturate, in Los Angeles I have to compensate? And like a principal with just done a child, the big Lebowski raged, his eyes gone wild. 'Twas all the dude could do to interrupt. Come on, he pled, and stopped his foe abrupt. I didn't come to scam you, so relent. You've got all wrong my innocent intent. Lebowski scowled and swallowed his disgust, and hulked mid-chair as his next barrage was thrust. Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski, sir? With feigned resignation did he slur. This all o'ertook the dude, as would the tides. I must explain, he said, and wiped his eyes. I'm not Mr. Lebowski, as you claim, but you are he. Lebowski is your name. I am the dude, so you should call me that. A duder or his dudeness, that's ornate. Or if the soul of your wit's not brevity, El Duderino might with you agree. This quip did not amuse the larger man, who rolled his eyes and started in again. Are you employed now, sir? He condescended. The dude caught up. Employed? His voice he bent. I hope, Lebowski said, that you don't lurk in clothes like those when looking for some work. He pointed at the dude, and like a bray, you meet the world like this on a weekday? By this assault and by the question stunned, dude looked around the room, his mind outcunned. Is this a week? He started, then he stopped. What day is this? He squeaked, through sweat he flopped. His head dragged on, and for fresh air El pined. I do work, sir, and if you do not mind. And he commenced to wheel himself around, when dude, incensed, lashed out with plaintive sound. No, look, I mind, you know, the duder minds. I've been put out in ways of sundry kinds. You might be the richest guy in all the land, but simply put, this aggression will not stand. You think this fair? Your wife goes on her nose. My wife! Lebowski thundered, loud as shown, and slammed his fist so hard down on his desk, all the angels in the room made their regress. By God, my wife is not the issue here. I'll thank you not to deign to interfere. My hope is one day she can learn to live on the ample allowance I am wont to give. I take great pains to make sure she lives well. For all her gains, she thinks her heaven's hell. If she cannot adapt and see the light, the problem then is hers, and hers outright. It isn't mine to take upon her lot. She's her own person, where she earns or not. And just as her frivolity is hers, your spoiled rug is hardly mine, but yours. And likewise, every bum with problems hence shall not pollute my court with evidence. And all their problems they will solely own. I'm not the charity, some chaperone. I'd never grace your gutter to blame the dregs for the total loss and crippling of my legs. Some Chinaman in Korea took them away, but I went out and achieved anyway. I cannot solve your problems, sir, it's true. The only one who will help you now is you. With stoic face the dude heard this tirade, and halfway through he re-put on his shades. He shrugged his hands as he uncrossed his gams. Ah, fuck it, said he then. He gave no damns. Half-heartedly he took stock in his chair. His shades, his clothes, yep, everything was there. Lebowski griped, oh, fuck it, yes, of course. That's your reply for everything, your curse. Tattoo it on your forehead, might as well. You'd never have to speak again at all. The dude had risen, turned, commenced to go. Lebowski, undeterred, raged on like so. Your revolution's over, sir, it's tossed. Condolences, good sir, the bums have lost. If I were one for guidance, I'd advise you seek the path your parents realized. Go get a job, you bum, you dank refuse. Your way is dead, the bums will always lose. I pray you hear me through the dope and booze. It's hopeless, her. The bums will always